Raise your hand if you've ever finished something, looked at it, and felt nothing. Not pride, not relief. Just a quiet little voice saying, it could have been better. Yeah, same. Here's the strange part. It doesn't matter how good it actually was. The voice shows up anyway. And most people will tell you that voice means you have high standards. It doesn't. It means something else entirely. And once you see what it actually is, you can finally put it down. So here's what's actually going on. For most people, self-worth works like a constant. It's just there, baseline. They do a bad job at something and they feel bad about the job, but they don't feel like less of a person. The number doesn't move. For you, self-worth stopped being a constant and became a variable. Something that gets recalculated. Every single time you produce anything. This has a name. It's called contingent self-worth. Your worth is contingent, it depends, on the output. And that one shift changes everything about how work feels. The first thing it does is collapse the gap between you and the thing you make. A healthy relationship to work has a little space in it. You are over here, the work is over there. The work can be great or terrible and you stay intact either way. But when your worth is riding on the output, that space disappears. You stop being someone who made a flawed thing. You become the flawed thing. Which is why editing one sentence can feel weirdly personal. It's not a sentence you're fixing, it's evidence about you. No wonder you can't leave it alone. The second thing is crueler. When worth is a variable, your wins don't save. Think about it. If every output recalculates your worth from scratch, then finishing something great doesn't bank. It doesn't carry forward. The moment the next task appears, the number resets to 0, and you have to prove it all over again. This is why the praise never lands. Why the finished project feels empty. Why you can do something genuinely impressive on Monday and feel worthless by Tuesday. You're not ungrateful. You're running a scoreboard that wipes itself every morning. And here's the trap that keeps the whole thing spinning. Because so much is riding on each output, not a grade, not a deadline, but your actual worth, good enough starts to feel reckless. So the bar goes up, way up, to a height where nothing you make can clear it. And people look at that impossibly high bar and call it high standards. But look closer at what it's doing. A bar that can never be cleared, can never hand you the one verdict you're actually chasing. The verdict that says, enough, you're fine. You can stop now. The impossible standard isn't protecting the quality of your work. It's guaranteeing you never get to feel okay. You built a finish line you can't cross on purpose because crossing it would mean finding out whether you're enough, and staying uncertain feels safer than risking the answer. So what do you actually do with this? Notice the fix is not lower your standards. That's the advice everyone gives and it never works because the problem was never the standards. The problem is what's hooked to them. First, catch the recalculation as it happens. The next time you're spiraling on something small, name what's really going on. This isn't about the email. My brain is running a worth calculation off the email. The second you can see the hook, worth attached to output, you've already loosened it a little. You can't unhook something you can't see. Second, ship something imperfect on purpose, not by accident, deliberately. Send the message at 80%. Publish the thing with the flaw you noticed. And then, this is the actual point. Watch what happens. Watch the number not move. Nobody revokes your worth. The verdict you were terrified of doesn't arrive. Every time you do this, you collect a piece of evidence that the worth was never really contingent. It just felt that way. You're not lowering the bar. You're proving the bar was fake. Third, move the scoreboard. Right now, you're measuring the outcome. Was it perfect? Which is both impossible and mostly outside your control. Start measuring the thing you can actually control instead. Did I show up? Did I put in the rep? Did I ship it? When the metric moves from the result to the effort, worth quietly unhooks from a verdict you were never able to guarantee anyway. You stop grading the output and start counting the reps. And reps, unlike perfection, actually bank. So here's the thing to take with you. Most people think perfectionism means you care too much about doing things well. But caring about quality is just conscientiousness. That's a strength. Keep it. Perfectionism is something different. It's what happens when your worth got welded to your output. So every task quietly became a test of whether you're allowed to feel okay about yourself. You were never actually chasing a perfect essay, or a perfect project, or a perfect anything. You were chasing a verdict. And the fix was never to care less about the work. It's to stop betting yourself on it. You can hold an incredibly high standard for what you make and refuse to put your worth on the table when you make it. Those were always two separate bets. You just got them tangled. Untangle them, and the work stays great. But you finally get to be okay either way. Comment below, what's one thing you've redone way more times than it ever actually needed?